This is the beautiful thing about carnivore. Cooking is so simplistic. Now, it is messy, hence the apron here, but this is literally all that I do. So the number one thing I cook in is pork lard, pastured pork lard. You can typically get this at your any local farm, or I'm sure there's some websites where you could have this delivered to you, but I cook everything mostly in pork lard, bacon grease, or that grass-fed Irish butter. Now, most people use Kerrygold. I found this here at Aldi's, and it's a little bit cheaper. And I go through a lot of butter as well, so every dollar matters when you're doing that. My only real splurge expense is this real salt here from Redmond. I mean, it's a little expensive compared to your normal table salt, but so worth it. This is so good. And tonight we're having chuck eye steak, or as some places market it, Delmonico, so they can charge a little bit more. But these two steaks, 16 ounces, $9. So tonight's meal is literally $9, and it will be cooked over here in this lard. So got to take the glasses off, have the apron on. We're going to toss these on here. Woo! I got that very hot. There we go. Be safe, kiddies. Be safe. Don't always do as Uncle Harrison does. Do as I say, not as I do, right? But I'm going to cook this up, and I will be back when we are done. But I typically like to cook these pretty rare, so it's not going to take long. Typically, it's about 6 minutes to cook one of these on medium, little over medium, on the stove, in the hot grease, and it comes out perfectly seared and a rare steak. Okay, so while that's sizzling back there, Unwavering, what is this channel that you have fallen upon, and who am I? Well, this channel is all about the carnivore lifestyle, so living a carnivore-fueled lifestyle. If you want to lose weight, if you want to maybe shed some of those health challenges that you have, or you just want to feel better, this is a really good way to do that. We are also a faith-fueled channel, so we're going to be focused on sharing the Bible, sharing our walk with God, and the things that are most important to us. So I'm going to go back. That thing's getting ready to beep. Whew. So we let that go just for another minute or so, and then we will be ready to eat. We are, look at that. You can see it's rare, it's beautiful. It's going to be very tasty. But before I dive into this steak and enjoy this phenomenal meal, I want to say a couple of things as we kick off this series of videos for the rest of the year here. Number one, I am not a medical doctor, so nothing I say is medical advice. Please do your own due diligence. Make sure that you get yourself checked and do what's right for you, because what I do for myself might not be what's right for you. That's number one. Number two, I am in no way saying that you have to eat carnivore to be a good Christian. Okay, that's not where I'm going with this either, because in the Bible, in Genesis 9, I believe, there is a verse that says we are to eat meat and plants. But we're going to talk about why plants have they're not so good anymore. Like, things have changed from biblical times, or even just from the last 50 years here that we've been under. And then number three, if you're not a Christian, that's okay. Understand, I am not here to judge you. I am not one of those type of Christians. Everybody is welcome here. I'm just a guy that's trying to lead by example and walk with Christ and be as Christ-like as possible. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help, inspire you. I'm here to motivate you. I am here to pick you up when you fall, because we all fall. Look, it's New Year's, and I know many of you have made New Year's resolutions. I know that maybe some of them are weight loss, or getting healthier, or to exercise more, or to read the Bible cover to cover, or to pray more and be closer to God. Whatever that is, the challenge is usually by February, and let's be honest, most of us tuck her out. We kind of get off course and we're back to our old habits again. So this channel is to hopefully help some of you, and myself included, prevent that from happening. 2023 was a prime example of rising and falling for me. So if you don't know my backstory from last year, I went on the carnivore diet because I had arthritis and inflammation had gotten so bad in my body that I could barely climb a flight of stairs. I could barely walk. Matter of fact, I was starting to research the little hover chairs or whatever you call them to get around. I had ballooned up to 339, really 340 pounds. I know I was even heavier than that because there was a point in time I didn't even weigh myself anymore. And then I made the decision that I need to change. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm only in my very, very early 50s and I want to live a long life and I want to live a fruitful life and a more fulfilled life. And then as I started doing research online and books and other things that I was looking at, I had tried the vegan diet before, and why I did feel a little bit better. There was always something lacking. I never really felt fulfilled within that eating regimen. I did keto for a period of time, and that was really good, and I enjoyed it. But we're going to talk more about why I went pure carnivore in a future video. But going carnivore last year, and look, I wasn't fully disciplined, but I would say I was disciplined maybe 6-7 months out of last year, and I lost 50 pounds. And I started walking 2, 3, 4 miles a day, and my inflammation and my hands went down. I didn't have gas anymore. I wasn't farting all the time. I was sleeping better. Like all of these things were happening. And as I started sharing what I was doing, which was eating meat cooked in bacon grease and butter, people were coming out of the woodwork to tell me I was killing myself. I was going to die. I was absolutely having a heart attack. But where were these people when I was eating a Big Mac or I was shoving half of a cheesecake down my mouth? Nobody bats an eye when you're eating like that. But if you eat a steak cooked in butter, all of a sudden you're going to die. And eating this way did take some time because it goes against all these cultural conditioning and paradigms that we have been fed, which are all BS, over the last 20 years. And we're going to share a lot of that in future videos as well. But last year, I lost 50 pounds and felt great. Now, I had some adversity in my life, and this is why it was 6 to 7 months instead of the whole year on carnivore. And in that adversity, I tore my rotator cuff and some other personal things that happened with family members and whatnot. And it was tough. And I fell off the wagon and went back to eating kind of a standard American diet and stress and all those things and gained back 16 pounds. So, yeah, none of that was, I'm not proud of that at all. But we all fall. We all fail. Life gets in the way. And the only thing that got me through last year, other than carnivore, especially when I was off carnivore, was my faith in God. I guess I've already kind of disclosed this to a lot of people, but last year my wife went through a breast cancer battle and my daughter was in a skydiving accident. So it just was like one thing after another, and then I tore my rotator cuff. So as you can see, it's easy when the world kind of starts weighing on you. Look, you just start, let's stop by and get a Frosty. Let's grab a pizza, let's whatever. And then it's that comfort food. It makes you feel good. And before you know it, that one cheat meal becomes a cheat month, becomes a cheat 3 months. And it happens to the best of us. So I'm going to eat this, and then we're going to go upstairs to my studio, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I ate this week, how much it cost, and we're going to break that myth that this carnivore diet is expensive. So let me eat, and we'll go upstairs and do that. Let's go. All right, we are back in the friendly confines of my home studio, and we're going to break down the total cost for the carnivore diet this week. And I had one big splurge, which we'll talk about, and I had a very, very cheap day that we'll talk about as well. So on Monday, we spent a total of $10.49, and for that, we got 4 farm fresh eggs. We got some leftover holiday ham, so that was free. We had 8 ounces of breakfast steak, and we had 9 ounces of a New York strip steak. So that total for all of that amazing food was only $10.49. On Tuesday, we had a 8-ounce chuck-eye steak and 4 farm fresh eggs for our first meal. And at dinner, we had a 9-ounce chuck eye steak, which is, if you're not familiar, they're very fatty. They're very similar to a ribeye, but much less expensive. So if you can find chuck eye steak, highly recommended. So on Tuesday, we spent a total of $11.06. On Wednesday, I had a fasting day. I wasn't planning on doing that, but I wasn't hungry. I never had the urge to eat. And I mean, if you're not hungry, don't eat, right? It just doesn't make sense. So $0 on Wednesday. Thursday hit, and that was 4 farm fresh eggs for breakfast with an 8-ounce flat iron steak. I had 4 ounces of liverwurst for a snack. You got to get that liver in, I think, every week. And for me, I enjoy liver now because I've been eating it for a while, but liverwurst it's just an easy way to get it. You don't have to cook it, slice it off, eat a few ounces, and you get that in your diet every week. And then for dinner, I had a 16-ounce, a full pound of chuck eye steak as well. And the total cost for that day was $18.90. On Friday, once again, 4 farm fresh eggs. I actually had breakfast and then 2 sausage patties. For lunch, I had 8 ounce of farm raised chicken legs. They were just chicken legs. And then for dinner, I had another 8 ounces. I just cooked a full pound of farm raised chicken. So I just ate that in 2 separate meals. And the total cost for that day was $11.67. On Saturday, some of you might have saw the video. I had those venison and beef patties that I got on sale at Fresh Time. They were super cheap, $4.99. So that was a whole meal for $5. And then I had, for a snack, I had 4 ounces of, they call it jowl bacon, couple bucks. And then for dinner, this was my splurge because we had a holiday party at Grandma's because she had got COVID and couldn't physically come to Christmas this year. So we had our Christmas. And of course, they had all the spread of food out. And I'm in now this year, right? Haven't had any cheat days or anything. So I went and got a 16-ounce ribeye, cooked it up, and I ate that while everybody else was eating what they were eating. So this is an expensive day. It was $30.99 because of that big ribeye. And today, as I'm recording this, is Sunday. I had another one of those venison and beef patties, 10 ounces for $4.99. I had a full pound of chuck eye steak. It was $9. I got it on sale. And the total cost today was only $13.99. So for the whole week, and this includes the splurge for the big ribeye, my total cost was $97.10. That blows me away. I mean, if you really look at eating at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, going and getting Starbucks coffee, all those different things. I mean, I was spending $30, $40 plus a day eating out when I used to eat out. I mean, you go to McDonald's, you're spending $10. You go to Starbucks, you're spending somewhere between $5 and $10. There's $20 a day right there. So out of 7 days at $20 a day, you do the math, that's $140. I spent $97.10. And I can tell you, I was never hungry, never had cravings, and I feel fantastic. So we're breaking through those barriers. So, all right, well, that's it for this episode of Unwavering. I hope that this helped you. I hope it inspired you. Please leave a comment in the comment section. If you are on the carnivore diet or if you're considering it, put down there what your goals are. You know, my goals this week, this month, this year is to get to 235 pounds. And I weighed in on Monday, and my starting weight here was 306.5. So our goal is to get to that 235 weight mark. We're not gonna freak out if we don't get there, but the key here is lose weight, feel great, live a more fulfilled life, and give all the glory to God along the way. So thank you all for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to another week of living with God, walking with Christ, and eating carnivore. Let's do this. Bon appetit, everybody.